We asked a group of non-Indigenous Australians to name one characteristic of a healthy individual. Here's what they had to say.
Sense of humour.
Physically active.
Mental stability.
Happiness.
Positivity.
Free of disease.
Resilience.
Balanced diet.
Through research, this is what we found.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have a significantly lower level of overall health, with a 17-year gap in life expectancy between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians.
They have double the amount of hospitalisations.
Are 15 times more likely to be in jail.
And 4 times as likely to commit suicide.
But why is their health so low?
What causes these inequities?
They are the longest surviving culture in the world, inhabiting this land long before civilization. They must have been doing something right.
So are these statistics a true indication of all Indigenous health?
In 2008, more than 3/4 completed their education at least up until year 10.
Compared to the generation before them, in which only a quarter received this level of education.
Nearly 80% consider their health to be good, very good, or excellent.
So what is Indigenous health really like?
And most importantly, what do the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have to say about it?
Question 1. How would you describe Indigenous health?
Indigenous health to me personally encompasses all areas of health. So not just how you are physically, but also mentally, socially and spiritually.
Question 2. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your overall health and why?
I would say I'm about a 6 to a 7 at the moment. Mainly being I could be eating a whole lot more healthier and doing a whole lot more physical activity.
I'd probably say an 8, just because just my own personality always look at the sort of things that I do. And I try to exploit the best out of everything. So
about 8. I don't really have any health problems. I don't see myself as being unhealthy, and so yeah.
Question 3. What types of healthcare services do you access, and how often do you access them?
Me personally, I don't particularly like healthcare services. Whether it's just been a thing that's in my family or me personally, I have a little bit of a fear of them. I'd love to access physios more often, but they just cost too much money. But yeah, I avoid doctors, dentists.
Not really that much. I mean, I go to a doctor for a regular checkup, but that's about it.
Me and my family don't access it, only unless we're really sick.
Question 4. What types of government initiatives do you believe have successfully improved the health of Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders?
Honestly, not many. A lot of initiatives that do work are the ones that are made on the ground level by the community themselves. Things like Close the Gap are good. It will take many, many years, but slowly and gradually we are getting better in terms of our health as a nation.
Question 5. In what ways does the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture influence an individual's perspective of health?
Well, I would say the concept of health was not necessarily around until colonisation, because we had a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. We were effectively very, very healthy. We've introduced foods, drugs and alcohol and stuff, and lack of education and knowledge. Health of Indigenous people has gone down. At the moment, I think we're getting better. So the fact that there's organisations run by Aboriginal people to improve Aboriginal health, I think we're getting better and it's becoming more acceptable.
Question 6. Compared with other Australians, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are more than 2 times as likely to be hospitalised than other Australians. Do you believe this statement is impacted upon by socio-cultural and environmental factors faced by Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders? If so, in what ways?
Yes, I would say so, because you have a look at whereabouts all the individual, like the demographic of the Indigenous people, and I mean they're not as well off as what we are, so of course they're going to have less access to healthcare services because of their money, their financial situations, also because of it being a rural area, not many experts or practitioners or GPs want to actually go out there.
I think with that statement that a lot of it has got to do with what is socially acceptable norms out in communities. With Indigenous people, there's a massive fear behind going to doctors and going to health services because of previous years of history and colonisation. So a lot of Indigenous people, just because of what's happened in the past, there's this notion that if you're going to go to hospital, you're going to die. So a lot of Aboriginal people will not go to their local GP or dentist to get simple checkups. And so that's why it comes into a massive right at the end where it's pretty much do or die.